Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I'm going to talk about the 4 skills of learning any language. As we are not native speakers, keep it in mind we would have some difficulties because we are adults. And if you notice that children might be learning much faster than other ones. Well, first of all, let's talk about what are these 4 skills. First one is listening, then speaking. After that, when he gets to school, he learn how to read, and after that, how to write. Well, let's go back to the first one, listening. Children usually listen well and start applying their vocabularies by words. They make mistakes, and that's fine, just like we do. So don't worry about that. The mistakes by pronunciation might be, problem for most of us, and that keeps away from practicing that language with other people. Well, it is not like that, because without mistakes you cannot learn. We learn by our mistakes. Then, how about grammar? Well, grammar is important. It might be just like the structure of the sentences that you are trying to deliver to the others. But, you have to be confident with your own speaking if you are start speaking. So now we are talking about speaking. So when you start speaking, don't worry about grammar. Why is that? Because sometimes we can divide the learning English to 2 sides. First one is academic, the other one is general. Even in academic, sometimes you don't have to follow all the rules 100%, because sometimes just like by face signals you can make communication with others. So speaking and listening both are common with the oral practice, oral ability in any way. So if I would like to listen well, how can I do it? You need to make sure that pronunciation is important first. So try to focus on how to spell it well. I'm not saying word by word, because you need to make sentences. So keeping words by heart might be unhelpful, because you have to make sentences to make ideas clear to the others. First, try to learn phrases or sentences, because learning how to say words, or even keeping by heart words, you will see that you will forget it after a couple days, few days. Why is that? Because your mind cannot keep any words, any information without meaning. So he start dividing those to meaningful and meaningless. Meaningless will be erased, and you'll forget it after a few days if you're lucky. So practicing words will takes to the other skill, but let's return back to the first one, listening. Alright, so in listening, we said about pronunciation. The other thing is that time. English language is much faster than Arabic pronunciation or speaking. So if you notice that you had to follow the speakers to listen well. If you would like to listen well, you had to do what? You had to know that the stress sometimes affected the end and the beginning of the other sentences. The vowels, the consonants might be also connected with each other and affected on each other, and all these things. But practicing is the key to solve this problem. Well, what else? After that, you need to do what? Okay, repeating. Try to repeat after listening. Well, that might be has something to do with speaking, right? Because speaking and listening come all together. How to listen well? Well, a good listener supposed to be has something to do with nerves. So just clarify your own mind to the what? To the speakers to listen well. So now we got to the accents. Accents, it doesn't matter because English language is not anymore dealing with one country just like 400 years ago. It has been regarded as the main or the first language around the world. I'm not talking about the number of speakers, first language speakers. I'm talking about the variety of natives that are able to speak English language. So let's get back to the second skill, which is speaking. Well, speaking might be hard for most of us. He can listen well, he can understand what are you saying, but he cannot answer you. Why is that? Because there's an obstacle keeping them in the circle, which is self-confidence. Well, I'm afraid if I say this word, I made a mistake, it might be embarrassing for me, so what can I do? You can try and keep it in mind, you can do it. So being able to speak has something to do with what? With the psychological ability. But what can I do to answer? You had to try. After trying, you made mistakes. As we said before, we can learn from our mistakes. Without mistakes, you would never know if you are made it correct or not. Just try to do it. Try to say it. Then, what can I do if I would like to do it by myself without help of others? Well, just like I'm doing right now, I'm speaking. I'm recording myself. So you can do it by yourself too. Try to do what? Listen, and then do what? Start speaking, repeating the same phrases or sentences, or for example, for 1 minute. Try to record yourself. If you don't have any recorder, just like mobile phone or camera and so on, try to do it by following up yourself in front of the mirror, and try to do what else? Try to use your own body signals. Why is that? Because communication doesn't mean that you have to only make voices to deliver your own ideas, because sometimes even by face signals might give us an ideas. And you know about that. I mean, angry, satisfied, sad, happy, and so on, agree, disagree, and so on. All these things can be done without saying any word. So face signals matters. All right, then let's talk about how can I improve my own pronunciation by speaking. Well, when you start speak and recording yourself, you would notice that you had made some mistakes. Well, that's normal. Just like we are doing in Arabic. We do some mistakes, and that's normal because we are human. We are not perfect. it's not a big deal if you made one by within 100 words, for example, but it means a lot if you made all your own pronunciation, pronounced wrongly. So why is that? Well, it has something to do with your own primary school, with your own first time start learning English. Well, maintenance much harder than first time construction. Or you had to do what? You had to correct your own vocabularies that you had already kept by heart. How to pronounce. Well, if you are not sure about the meaning or the how to spell this word, okay, say it and ask people, listen to the others and correct it by time. Practicing is the key to what? To earn, to gain the new and correct pronunciation of any word. And what else? How can I keep by heart the words? Well, just remember, as we said before, words without meaning, you cannot keep it. Why is that? Because your